For the Stoke game, it was a good run of form. It was 7 points out of 9, 2 wins and a draw. And we know your teams play with a high level of energy, a high level of fitness, and is demanded in terms of trying to implement your games. Do you think maybe there was a bit of tiredness in the Stoke performance? Maybe those energy levels dropped a bit for you that maybe contemplated to that defeat?
No, I'm not a manager that usually speaks about the physical part of the game. I'm not that interested on that. For me, it's much more about the game itself, to understand the understanding of the game. I don't think that what happened yesterday was that we started the game really well. The first 10 minutes we were good, and after that, perhaps we start to kick a little bit too long, too often. Obviously, when we play with Sinclair Armstrong at the top, is always a kind of temptation to activate his pace. But that moment, I think that we gave possibilities for Stoke to regain the second ball. And then from there, we were a bit lower. In the second half, after they score in one of the few chances they got, because it was a very tight game in the sense that there was not many opportunities for, not for us, not for them. Unfortunately, they took the lead in a set-piece situation, and an area that actually have been much better over the last games, not conceding many chances, defending better on the corners. But in this one, they took the lead just before the halftime. And then in the second half, they were very deep, almost for the whole second half. They stayed with a lot of players defending in this 5-3-2. Over the minutes, it was a 5-4-1. A lot of players behind the ball. They were good at breaking the flow of the game. Some free kicks here and there, and all the credit to them, because we were not good enough to understand how to attack and how we could activate the box, how to create the chances. They defend the box really well. And I said that before, I think that we face a similar situation against Plymouth at home. It's one of the most difficult things in football, to beat a very deep, low block when they take the lead and they defend with a lot of bodies inside the box. That's a very difficult part in football.
And Marty, you mentioned there the tendency of going long to Sinclair when he's on the pitch and utilising his attributes. And I suppose he's still learning his trade. He's still only 20 years of age in terms of that. And I suppose in the tendency, when you're trying to go back to front, when you're using Sinclair, you need to really get runners off him and get support players on his shoulders for the knockdowns and go in behind him. Do you feel maybe that the support up to him in terms of getting in behind him wasn't really there? Those second balls, those knockdown balls, that's how Stoke were able to pick up so much possession off him.
I think that for us, the most important when we want to activate his space is to really make sure that we open the space first. So it's about a little bit about attracting the pressure and then try to play through or play behind. And we could see that, especially, for instance, against Bournemouth. In the first half we play against them, he got the space to run, and he has been activating these kind of runs as well in other games. But yeah, as I said, sometimes there is this tendency to try to activate this space, this space he got a little bit too early, and then it's completely different, because then we are not a team that is prepared or has the players specifically to just pick the second balls or just try to push for it. Sometimes we're going to get it well because it's about the positioning. But for me, the most important is that we understand when is the right moment. Said that, I think he's a guy that is learning every week. He's improving how he's managing as well against opponents that are as well being more and more physical against him. And he has been improving his target game, his skills when he's back on the goal. So I think it's a combination of how we do as a team and how he's doing him individually.
And I suppose you were able to make additions during January, and it's not too long ago to forget that that's only really 2 weeks ago. How are the new additions settling in? Anderson, Frey, they've been thrust into this battle, into these sort of pivotal games. You're trusting them from the off. And I suppose when you come to a new country, a new league, it takes time to settle in terms of and get used to the rhythm and the demands of the sort of championship. Are you sort of pleased their early showings and how they're beginning to adapt really into what is a tough situation for any player to come into?
Yeah, I'm very pleased with them. I'm pleased, first of all, with the group. The way they welcome the new players has been fantastic. They are really helping them to have a quick adaptation, because everybody knows that we need them as well. And both Lucas and Michael, they are both of them experienced players that have been playing in different leagues around Europe. They came with big desire to play for QPR, despite the situation where we are, showing big commitment. They are extremely, extremely focused in trying to help the team. And yeah, every time they have been jumping in, they have been giving us very good minutes. So I'm happy for how quick they're adapting to our ideas, how quick they are giving the team their strength and their skills, and I'm sure that we're going to see much more from them in the next games. So definitely they come from different situations. First, because Lucas, coming from the break in Danish league, winter break, he needed to get a little bit more of the match fitness, if you want to call it. And with Michael, a little bit different situation for him from the Belgium season. But still, I'm very convinced that they will be very important for us, and happy for the way the group has been welcoming them.
I suppose finally for me, Marti, I know that you've been with QPR now for a couple of months, and that obviously brings a bit of settlement in terms of the dressing room, in terms of the players getting to use to the training setup, getting to use the weekly routine, the matchup routine. And I know you specifically want to focus only on Queen's Park Rangers, but it must be a advantage to you when you see other clubs like Blackburn recently changing their manager, Birmingham just recently, and Huddersfield still with a caretaker manager down around the bottom, that you have that bit of consistency, you have those implementations put in place on how you want to run your weeks before games as well. It must help, it must give you some bit of advantage in what is going to be a key run-in.
Yeah, I'm very pleased the way I said that from day one, the way the guys, the whole club welcome me, and the way the players are adapting to what we want to do here. I think that fits as well very well. And that's one of the main reasons why I came here, why probably the club wanted me. It fits very well on the kind of players we got in the squad. Now with the new additions, it's even more clear. And yeah, as I said before, I think that we have been, despite these up and downs that all the clubs in Championship has, I think that we have been quite stable in terms of the way we are competing. And now we need to make sure that these small edges, we make sure that are giving us more points than what it has done in the past, because despite we're collecting a good average, I would say, since my arrival, we need more. We want to improve. We're ambitious, and definitely, to have this stability, this knowledge about the way we want to play, this understanding of as well the players, it's always an advantage.
Best of luck, Marti, against Bristol City.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Ian, over to you.